Right now in the Mountain West region and even in Canada, we're experiencing some of the most dramatic fire seasons we've ever seen, with bigger and more intense fires. And yet, fires themselves may only impact directly the homes and lives of a few hundred people each year. The smoke, though, knows no boundaries, knows no zip codes, and it will absolutely impact thousands, if not millions of people every year. And that is a trend that is not going to change in the near future. Given that the number of acres burned over the last 40 years has quadrupled, this is really, really important for the entire Rocky Mountain region, because it's in the failures and the lessons learned that we can do efficient, groundbreaking research by learning what has been done before us and not making the same mistakes by understanding why it was that other people failed. I'm Luke Montrose, and I'm an assistant professor at Colorado State University. And my research focuses on wildfire smoke health effects. We specifically look at understudied and at-risk populations, so those like skilled nursing facility or long-term care residents, and then also wildland firefighters as sort of a model population of someone who's exposed to a lot of smoke. Across the country, there's a select few labs that have a wildfire smoke laboratory generation system. I call it a simulated wildfire smoke system. And the idea here is to be able to take different types of biomass material under different, very tightly controlled conditions and be able to burn that smoke. And we've recently built one of our own at Colorado State University. So this is our wildfire smoke exposure system. It is a ring furnace that burns whatever biomass material is inside of it at that time. Our sort of standard material right now is Douglas fir needles, which we dry. And then we put them into this machine. The ring furnace burns it through a series of dilutions. We are able to bring smoke from one end of the apparatus into this fume hood. And in the fume hood, we can either capture the particles or we can leverage those particles, as I mentioned, in a whole body exposure method. One of the coolest things that I get to do as a research principal investigator is to follow my students to a conference and see them present their research, the research that we came up with together, that we cultivated throughout a development process, and now we get to present that data to some kind of an audience.
I'm Raquel Zisumbo. I just graduated with my master's in toxicology this past spring. I've been spending my time working in this research lab under Luke Montrose. He had this idea of seeing if bulls were being impacted by wildfire smoke. And we were able to partner with a semen collection facility in Colorado. Reproduction is so important in the agricultural industry. I mean, that's part of how they continue going on, is being able to make strong, healthy bulls and cows.
I'm Daniel Dean. I'm a recent graduate from epidemiology at CSU. I joined this project with Luke and Raquel several months ago to help kind of on the data and analysis side. Being able to research reproductive health, and cattle are a pretty good model for converting reproductive health in cattle to humans. So I think being able to get this kind of clear cut of results and trends from our analysis helps contribute to our understanding of the overall risk associated with wildfires.
I haven't been doing research for very long, and I've been to the Smoke Symposium before. That it was actually the first conference that I got to present at, and at that conference I presented a poster, and it was basically our idea of this study.
When it comes to wildfire smoke impacts in the Rocky Mountain West, there actually wasn't a conference specific to this question. So the idea of bringing people who were focused on Rocky Mountain region specific smoke problems was interesting to me. At that time in 2020, I decided to embark on starting my own symposium. And since then, it's grown every year from 2020 to this year, 2024, where it was held in person at the University of Montana in Missoula, Montana. And that has been one of the best places that we've found as a lab to bring our research and to show what we've learned, but also learn from others. At the 5th annual Rocky Mountain Wildfire Smoke Symposium, We had the opportunity to present our research. At this meeting, we learned about fire ecology. We learned about the social aspects of wildfire smoke. And my students even talked about how wildfire smoke may impact cattle sperm. At this meeting, these people from different disciplines sort of intentionally breaking down those silos to talk about the difficult subjects like how much should we be burning our landscape, where and when, if we know that there may be good fire, but from a public health standpoint, there's never going to be necessarily good smoke because it's always going to impact our health in some way. And so making sure that the right people are at the table to have a discussion around how do we make the decision about what those trade-offs are.